But in the end, we decided to just give it all away.
Come again, sir.
I'm getting back in line.
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder, saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. You know, as time goes on, I feel more relieved by the fact that I finally admitted that I don't like The Boys. It's not my thing. It's okay if it's yours, but I knew something was off with it because the director Eric Kripke made the dumbest statement about Batman ever. One that I have seen many times on the internet by the dumbest group of individuals you have ever met. And for context, in universe, their version of Batman apparently SA'd the main character, and it was played for laughs. Yeah, not great stuff from this guy. But anyway, here's the quote. Well, that's a dark way to look at it. We view it as hilarious. Obviously, Tech Knight was our version of Batman, and we wanted to play around with that trope, Batman's fascist underpinnings, as a really wealthy dude who hurts poor people and then profits off the incarceration. So that was one. Tech Knight was already set up to be a freak, so we were kind of already halfway there. Then the notion came up of he should have a Batcave. But let's be honest, the Batcave would be a sex dungeon. Like, even the real Batcave is just this side of being a sex dungeon. It's really dark, and there's rubber suits everywhere. It's not that much of a push to add a couple of dildos and then make weird urinals that turn into face masks. Oh my God, I realized that I did a plural at the end there when I shouldn't have, but I really don't feel like doing another take of that because this guy, he's just the worst.
This is worthless.
It's less than worthless, my boy.
I hate this take so much, that Batman is a fascist who uses his money to beat up the poor. Number one, these geniuses seem to think that criminals are the poor, so that's pretty classist of them. And secondly, they don't understand a few facts about Gotham. It is the single most corrupt city that you can imagine. When Batman starts out, the politicians, police, civil servants, and mobs all work together. Everything is terrible. Never mind that in some versions, the Court of Owl controls most of everything. But in almost every single version of DC, it's a widely accepted fact that Gotham is just a different animal. Even other members of the Justice League acknowledge that there's a problem with the Foundation. So if Bruce Wayne dedicated his entire being to trying to clean up the city through his money and influence alone, it would not work. He might very well be assassinated by the Court of Owls. That's where Batman comes in to dismantle the oppressive, corrupt, and actually fascist system holding Gotham in an iron grip. And as Bruce cleans up the corruption in one way, he uses his civilian life to dedicate a lot of money to a wide range of causes: homelessness, clean energy, feeding hungry families, and providing a steady income for people with fair jobs and excellent benefits. It's a two-sided attack that wouldn't work without the other. There are some serious geniuses out there that don't seem to understand this.
Oh, it's so obvious. I would have never thought of that.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that these very smart individuals never watched or read any Batman story ever, that they're coming from a place of ignorance instead of blind hatred. But to be fair, this mindset also despises MrBeast with an iron passion. And before I get into this, I'm making this without hearing about any truly terrible thing that MrBeast has done. If he eventually does something really messed up, doing something corrupt with his money, or something else, I will change my viewpoint on him. You see, I'm a reasonable person who can change my point of view when new information arrives. But some others seem to absolutely despise him for being successful and using his money to help people. MrBeast literally makes videos where he films the people he's helping, building homes, making wells, and helping the blind to see. And all of this is bad because he's filming it for profit so that he can put the money back into helping more people. So basically, a machine that helps those in need, helps MrBeast be profitable, makes viewers feel good, and make the world a better place. There are literally no downsides to this. It reminds me of the episode in Parks and Rec where some guy builds parks and hospitals as a prank.
Ron, I'm so sorry.
What the were you thinking?
The only people who aren't happy are the actually unhinged. He shouldn't be profiting from it. The people he helped agreed to be filmed, and he is probably going to put the money into helping more people. He's doing it to feel good and seem like a good person. Yes, that's literally what everyone does. A healthy brain is supposed to be wired to reward you for doing good and getting public approval. The government should be doing this. Agreed, but I don't know what world that you're looking at in which you think the government isn't a giant mess where nothing is ever accomplished efficiently ever at any point. Even the military can't kill the right people at the right time. The idea of an efficient and great government is so unbelievable that modern writers are incapable of creating Star Trek stories anymore, where it's an ideal paradise of a future where all hostilities and problems are solved. Instead, all of the current world problems are prevalent to make a point about current day, that nothing is ever good enough. This is the type of mindset of people criticizing the rich for actually trying to make the world a better place. And believe me, I am no corpo shill. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, hate them. I'm not going to defend companies who can't hold up to the ideal of not being evil. But if an individual rich person uses their money to help other people, maybe they're the type of person who deserves to have a little bit of wealth. And never forget that the supposed healthcare awakening movie for most people is all about how benevolent billionaires need to be the ones to help the sick and needy. I'm talking about robots here, by the way. People use real world politics in it, but I don't see any government action in that movie. Bad person with power and money hurts the less fortunate. Good person with power and money helps the less fortunate. All while pointing out the real world consequences to lack of healthcare in a unique way. I like the movie. I'm not criticizing it, but don't act like it's something that it isn't. In a lot of ways, having a lot of money is the only real life superpower. You can't have flight, super speed, invisibility, or heat vision. Those are not real. But having a lot of money sure is. Money is power, and a measure of a man is what he does with power. What would you do with money? Spend it all? Hoard it all? Help people? Honestly, I would just invest it, live off the interest, and go do whatever I want. Mostly travel and hang out with my wife and animals. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. I don't care.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. But Carmen, we're trying to... screw you guys.
Calling Batman a fascist is so stupid because it's literally just classist. Bruce Wayne is using his money for good. He's actually trying to fight the mob, the murderers, and the corrupt government, and he's actually trying to help those in need, the less fortunate. Eric Kripke is either assuming that everyone is like Zuckerberg, or he's projecting what he knows that he would be if he had power and money like Bruce Wayne did. There are plenty of people with money who are bad. There are plenty of people without money who are bad. There are plenty of people in between that level of wealth who are bad. It's like the movie Parasite. I swear, Batman and Superman are like a litmus test for me. If you don't get them, what they symbolize, and why they respect each other, then I might have to give you the side eye. It's not that hard. It's called judging people based on their actions and their personality rather than what they have or what they look like. But you know what? That might be a difficult concept for the people in the year of our Lord 2024. And if you disagree with any of this, that's fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion. Thank you all so much for watching.
You're still here?
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. You bye. Boom.
Do not despair.